I want to take a moment to talk about a partner we're proud to stand with, Good Ranchers. Now, if you've been listening to the Charlie Kirk Show for a while, you know how important it is to support American values and families, and yes, American farms. That's exactly why Good Ranchers is more than just a sponsor. They're a faith-driven, family-owned company that refuses to compromise. They source 100% American meat, no mystery meat, no foreign imports, and they stand proudly for their values, freedom, and this great country. Visit goodranchers.com and use the code KIRK, K-I-R-K, when you subscribe for an additional $40 off plus free meat for life. When you buy from Good Ranchers, you're not just getting the highest quality beef, chicken, and seafood, you're investing in the same values we talk about daily: faith, family, and freedom. Welcoming to the show now are two of the student leaders at our chapter at Ole Miss that made yesterday evening possible. That'd be Leslie Lockman and Kent Tonos. Leslie, you are the chapter president at Ole Miss. You did a phenomenal job. And Kent Tonos, you're the vice president. Welcome to the Charlie Kirk Show.
Thank you so much for having us. We're excited to be here, especially after last night. We're coming down from it, but we could be more thrilled.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an honor to have you guys here. So just take the audience into what it's like to be you. You are chapter president and vice president of this campus. You find out that J.D. Vance and Erica Kirk are going to be coming to Ole Miss. Like, how does this work? What are your roles? How'd you pull this off?
Yeah, I think so. I found out just about 2 weeks before. I think immediately I thought to myself, oh my goodness, this is going to be the event of the year, not only for Ole Miss, but for Turning Point USA. It's the largest event in history, so I thought right away we have to get to work. Kenneth is my right-hand man when it comes to all things details, event coordination. And so I think a lot of it was tabling, spreading the word, details. What would you say?
I have, tabling. And actually, it's odd because somebody random came up to me when we were tailgating for the LSU Ole Miss game and said, do you know who the speaker is? And I said, I have no idea. And they said, I heard it could be J.D. Vance. And this was far before anything was announced, anything was in the works. So I just had that in the back of my head. I was like, maybe this guy's just pulling my leg. And then the day I find out when everybody else finds out with the announcement, and I was like, there's no way this guy is, I don't know if he was like a CIA agent or something. It was funny, but
let's hope not.
Yeah, I know. It's been like it's been a very uphill battle, and it's been phenomenal.
Well, that's amazing to hear. Yeah, I might have had a little advance notice on that because I was part of the team working behind the scenes to figure out if we were going to be, because we were kind of getting down to the wire, and it was like, oh, he's either going to do November 5th at Auburn or he's going to do October 29th. And obviously when you're working with a vice president's schedule and all the travel and all the other obligations, it's tough to get it locked in. And man, I just, so take us into this, to the campus though. I mean, first, I think I would love to know how your chapter is doing in the aftermath of Charlie's assassination. What's the vibe, the tone? How big is it? How is it growing? Tell us about those details.
Yeah, so when I first took over presidency, we were looking at 200 members. It was a smaller organization on campus. It had a presence, but nothing to the size it is now. We're looking at 14,000 on Instagram, just over 2,000 on our GroupMe. You know, we were prepared. We were ready. We had meetings already booked, tabling ready on the calendar. So when the whole thing boomed, we felt really prepared in moving with this whole thing. So it has exponentially grown. Students not only want to be involved with this campus, but you can see the impact it's had across the country. We've become a forefront chapter for what Turning Point USA should look like, kind of a model guide, everything from buttons custom made to what the table should be set up as to how can you do positive conservative conversation on the campus of Ole Miss. And I'd say not only is it growth and a win for Ole Miss, but I think it's a win for all Turning Point chapters.
Yes, as Leslie said, we've grown exponentially, and it's crazy to see the access that, you know, through our GroupMe and through just our university site, the thing called the Forum, we get almost 10 to 20 people that want to join every single day. And it's just, it amazes me how many people want to be involved. And it's great. It's fantastic.
Wow. So maybe, I mean, it's probably too early to tell, but I mean, I've got to believe after last night's event, I mean, to your point, that was not only the biggest chapter tour stop in Turning Point's history. I mean, there's 10,000 people in that arena last night. And people need to understand this. Like, sometimes at our events, we have mostly students and some adults. because, there's a little room left over and we can get the adults sit in the standby line and we get them in as soon as all the students get seated. We had to turn away students last night. That I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that's a first in especially one of these bigger tour stops. It's a 10,000 person arena. And it was 10,000 students packed to the brim, standing in line in the rain. And I'm told that you guys have about 27,000 student body count or whatever. There was 14,000 student registrations, 13,000 adult registrations, and we had to work to tell the adults, please do not come. You won't get in. Please do not come. And yet a lot of them came. I mean, it was truly, truly amazing. You guys have to, I've got to imagine, after an event like that, your chapter's only going to continue to grow.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this was really a starting point. This was the turning point. It's kind of ironic, but it is really true. You see, it's not only people wanting to, they came to the event, they were excited, they're wearing the merch, but it's action. I think this is going to convert into voting numbers later on. I think this is going to convert to a bigger picture thinking. And I see this later on turning blue states red.
Yes, and preventing further government shutdowns too. It's another thing. We see it just right now, and it's great to have this positive feedback from not only our tour but hopefully other tour stops that come along, just to see the young people get involved, and the conservative way is the right way. So absolutely. I love the way that people view that.
Said. Yeah, Charlie always he loved to talk to Gen Z people. He loved to hear what motivated them, what had they seen to try to understand them better. So you guys have seen that there's been a conservative shift among young people. So I thought I'd ask, you've probably talked to a good number of freshmen who've just arrived on campus. Have they said what shapes their worldview the most? And how do they even differ from maybe seniors on your campus? What have we seen just over the past 4 years in terms of how American young people are feeling politically?
I'd say that conservative values on the campus of Ole Miss have always been alive and well, but this freshman class is passionate. I think Charlie Kirk really pushed off that conversation of deeper involvement in the conservative party. I think it's one thing to, go out and say you love it, but to see the persuasion of almost everyone around you, it's immaculate.
Yeah, and the freshmen have a different mindset. The seniors that I've talked to are like, well, am I even going to be able to get a job? As J.D. Vance pointed out, with the visas that we have, am I even going to be able to get a job when I graduate? Can I even come from this accounting school and go be an accountant where I want to be an accountant, or am I going to get beat out somewhere? So it's one of those things where the drive for our seniors is a different type of drive than the freshmen, and the freshmen are, they're happy, they're excited, and they have different values, but when they get to that senior level, they'll go back and be like, well, I want that job too. So
and another thing to note also, you just brought up, we have a freshman on our team. She's new. She wants to make these buttons and design them and spend hours versus, if you're a senior, you've gone through college, you've done it, you're a little bit, but I think it's crucial to have both parts, because at the end of the day, everyone needs to go to those polls. Everyone's still voting. So I think whether you're hands-on at that table or stepping a little bit back just to be a part of the events, all of it is very important to us.
Well, so tell me, to kind of piggyback off what Blake said, what was the reaction of students to some of the answers that JD gave? What was the reaction to students about Erica's speech? I mean, what are you people telling you? What are the students saying?
I mean, I would definitely say the reaction has been nothing but positive. Those questions were hard hitting. I mean, we sat next to each other. We were in the front row. We were seeing this happen live. I'm looking at Kenneth. I'm like, some of those, but I'd say he handled it so well, so delicately. I'm so proud of Ole Miss for these well thought out, developed questions. You never know if kids are going to come up there and say crazy stuff, but I felt really proud of our community that they came with strong questions, prepared, and the reactions have been positive. I think personally, we can all remember Ricky Bobby comment one, the comment of the evening. Our pages were all about it. I think that kid's a hoot. I said later in the group chat, haha, he's got to be on exec. And so I think even how raw and true it was to what Ole Miss was, I couldn't be prouder.
It also shows, we all don't have to agree on everything. And they even pointed that out yesterday, is even if they have only 20% to something in common that you have, that doesn't mean you get to turn them away. That means that they can ask questions, and you can even ask questions, because JD even said there is no neutrality. you're always going to be biased on one side or the other. So, and it was great to see that last night.
Man, that is great. Leslie, I have to tell you, I ran into a reporter there. The outlet will remain anonymous for our sake here. This was off the record conversation, and those do go both ways. But I will tell you, this reporter was singing your praises, and she was like, "We have to, Turning Point has to make sure we hold on to Leslie." Are you a senior this year, Leslie?
No, I'm a junior, and
Oh,
I actually
wow.
just turned 20 like a little bit ago. It's just my birthday. And so it's always funny when people approach me and they're like, "You're the president." And I'm like, "Yes," because cool, hot, young, conservative women can be the forefront of this conversation, especially at Turning Point. And I think, me being the face of it, I think sometimes you get a little confused. But at the end of the day, if you dig deep, I think it makes sense. I'd say our team responds pretty well.
And our team is significantly young too,
Yeah.
and the way we work with each other is just crazy. The amount of stuff that we can work
Get
together
done.
on and get done is just, it's pushing each other. Hey,
We're
we're
good.
college students too.
Well,
Let's get it. Let's get this ball rolling.
I love that. And Kenneth, I didn't get a chance to meet you. Leslie, I was backstage when you met the vice president. So I didn't want to interrupt that at that moment, but I saw the way you comported yourself and handled yourself, and it was very impressive. So congratulations to Leslie and Kent from Ole Miss. They run a great chapter there that's bursting at the seams, 2,000 people on your group me. So congratulations, you two. Well done. Keep it up. You're making Charlie proud.